Tony D and Little Joan in the background, and this is a screenwriter's rant on Inhabitants. A guy who's dealing with the ghost of a guy who used to lead his religious group, who believes that sinners should be punished no matter what. Smash a like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. The links are in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 16, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So his like church group or whatever, the guy was a fanatic. He got away from it, but now he's being haunted by him. And Kevin Nealon's in it for some reason. Kevin Nealon is a comedian, used to be on Saturday Night Live. Again, it's weird to see these old SNL guys show up in B movie monster films and be serious. I mean, Kevin, I was just looking at the one with David Spade yesterday. I think David Spade's probably slightly more well known and more current than Kevin Nealon, but it's weird. It's weird. Oddly, though, he seems to fall into it a little better than David Spade, I think. Probably, again, because David Spade was in more comedy movies. Kevin Nealon, I think he had one or two, maybe, but not a tremendous amount. I think he was in some sitcoms. I wish they'd go back to comedy. Please go back to comedy, guys. I mean, I'm not even that big a fan of their comedy. I want to see them go back to comedy. But anyhow, eventually the guy decides, of the couple, decides to, we need somebody more holy, and consults his mother, who I guess is like some sort of female pastor in the group, but he's been lying about certain events, and his girlfriend confronts him, so there's some drama in their relationship, while at the same time there's this crazy religious ghost. So I kind of dig it. I dig it because, and he says stuff like, maybe doing all this new age stuff is upsetting the ghost. We're not doing religious stuff, and it's upsetting him even more. So, yeah, and Kevin Nealon looks fairly chill. I can almost buy him in this role, because I don't think he's trying to necessarily be not funny and super serious, but like David Spade yesterday, seemed a little too serious, seemed to be overcompensating a little bit, in my opinion. So I would see this. I think it's interesting. The tone of the trailer is interesting too. The movie is oh, here it is, A Letter to My Future Wife. I think that's him promising like a purity test or whatever, and I think there's something moving on the floor. Yeah, I don't know if that's a Roomba though, but they repeat the same line. He believed people should be punished no matter what. And I like that. That's a good reinforcement of the concept of the film without giving away the plot. And to me, this is a more solid premise for like sort of a ghost story than the other one I was looking at today with postpartum depression. That was a little too much because you're endangering children. This works because there's not any children involved, and yet it's still intense, and I can get into it without being squeamish about you're endangering a baby or whatever. And you can have interesting revelations with the adults where you can't really have any ones with the baby. I mean, the baby's just an innocent baby. So yeah, I would totally see this. So first act, Kevin Nealon looking very serious. First act, he's keeps seeing the ghost, and his girlfriend's trying to help him. So she tries to help him. It doesn't really work. They decide to go to his mom. They go to his mom, and she's along the way doing research. They go to his mom. She kicks it up, and I guess they consult Kevin Nealon as well. I don't know who he is. Maybe her dad, or I don't know. And here they are doing a seance that may be making it worse. But they get to her, and that's kind of probably the second act, she kind of knows what she's doing. So she starts, I don't know, purity things, but she finds more about her boyfriend. Maybe he lied about certain things. Maybe he did things while the ghost was there. So if there's a big twist in this, it could be that the boyfriend maybe was more involved with doing bad things than he let on. And even though he's being haunted, maybe he's the bad guy in all this. That could be the big twist at the end. That really, it wasn't the pastor at all. He was being haunted by the pastor, but really he killed the pastor, let's say. Something like that. That would be an interesting twist. Or it could be that they spend the whole movie going after the pastor. That would be more typical Hollywood, because I feel like they're very anti-religion. And so the subtext would be, well, see, you get involved with these religious groups and this is what happens. I don't know. I've heard Kevin Nealon talk about stuff. He seems kind of based. I don't know if he'd be in a movie like that, but I might give this a chance. I might give it a chance. Let's read the write-up. A young woman moves in with her lapsed Catholic boyfriend, only to discover that they're being haunted by the vengeful ghost of his childhood youth minister. So it's got a Catholic angle. Well, okay. That could work. That could work. Yeah, I wouldn't go to the theater for it. I feel like it's a small indie movie. Probably wouldn't even get distribution these days, but totally pick it up on a streamer. Oh, yeah. So Inhabitants. When's it drop? I don't know. I would guess probably the best time to drop it would be before the end of February. Still got enough time. Maybe early March. After that, it'll probably get swallowed up by the bigger releases that hit in the spring. But, yeah, on streaming, it sort of doesn't matter. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Thanks for tuning in today on this cold day in South Jersey. It's going to be colder tomorrow. I looked at the lows tonight, and it was like 19. I was like, ooh, that's going to be cold tonight. And then I looked at the lows for tomorrow, or the highs for tomorrow, and it said 19. And I'm like, it's not going to get any warmer? Jesus. So I'm going to stay inside and try to stay warm. Pray for me and Little Joan, who's not allowed outside in this weather. And we'll see you